out. Today we're at the Princeton answer plot. Really just wanted to discuss really how the CROPLAN brand's evolved, how we're utilizing it within our different owners that we have that are utilizing it across all seed brands. So really, probably the biggest thing, Kathryn, when you think about CROPLAN, it's really about choice, right? There's a million different farmers out there, a million different ways to farm, and really the CROPLAN brings everything that we need to. You think from a corn trade side of things, we handle traits, from conventional to your double pro to your smart stack. So really anything there that we need to. And really the same plays with the soybean traits. We're obviously, we started with the Roundup Ready 2s and a pile of our lineup is with the Extend brand. New to 2020 was the Enlist piece, that we have a great variety of all the Enlist traits, varieties across our board. And finally, we're obviously looking forward to the new Extend Flex trait, we're one step away from having European approval to be able to have complete approval for our 21 group. So we're really close there, and just to be able to offer that flexibility across that whole brand. What's the CROPLAN side for you? What else do you see with the brand that you represent?
Yeah, so as Jeff mentioned, CROPLAN as a brand is really flexible. We work with 2-3 different seed providers, genetic providers, whether it's corn states, and we're getting, the Double Pro Smart Stack traits, or even into Greenleaf, where we're getting the AgriSure, Duracade, similar traits to those that are in the NK bag. So, where the market goes, we can kind of follow it with our products, where we can supply those demands. And then also into the future with Corteva and Pro Access brand, hopefully we'll be working with them to be able to access any of those Acre Max or Power Core traits. That way we do have that flexibility to be able to fit on to any acre that you guys have. On the soybean side of things, obviously this dicamba thing's a hot topic right now, and that shows exactly how flexible we are and how broad spectrum we are, whether we have the Extend Flex or Extend and then into the Extend Flex beans to go on those would-be dicamba acres, or we can pivot and use Enlist to spray 2,4-D. We have those options so farmers can make the choices.
No, it makes sense. So you mentioned the word flexibility, and we'd probably fail at doing this video if we didn't actually mention, when we're talking soybeans and flexibility, actually mention that WinPack. That's been that concept's gone across all 3 trait platforms that we have with our soybeans, being able to package that offensive and defensive trait into that one bag, and really allowing that variety to compete with itself in the field situation and really drive yield. So that WinPack is definitely something that we see a fit across a broad acres, from anywhere from having a great field like we have here at the Princeton answer plot to some rolling ground across the Midwest. So that's really, it's been a trademark and really an agronomic solution that's really worked for us over the past years.
Yeah, it definitely helps bring those fields that have maybe some variability, the stressier acres, it brings them up, since we have the stress tolerant, high disease tolerant variety within the WinPack, as well as the high yield variety also in the WinPack, to keep it yielding well on the great acres out there.
No, that's phenomenal. Obviously there's at times too, we often think about the CROPLAN brand, just think corn, soybeans. We got to talk about alfalfa, knowing that there's not a lot of alfalfa grown here in Illinois. As we get into Iowa, there's definitely some, but as we get in that northern tier in Illinois and in Wisconsin, alfalfa is a major crop here for a lot of producers. And just knowing with all the genetics from FGI that are coming into that brand, owning that and being able to drive that crop, that's something that it often takes a backseat to our corn and our soybean production, but it's definitely worth knowing that from a trait side, talking about conventional to straight Roundup Ready varieties, to talk about Harv Extra, that's utilizing reduced lignin type of products to be able to drive that higher quality.
Great. And we have a whole team committed just to alfalfa, testing them, looking at what varieties are the best ones coming out there to bring them into the CROPLAN brand.
No, very good point. So last but not least, I really want to touch base on our CROPLAN corn. That's been a question that many have asked. We got a pretty dynamic alfalfa brand, pretty dynamic with our soybeans, the WinPacks, and being able to drive that across all brands. Really, what do we see out of the CROPLAN brand that's going to start to change here, as we look at moving into 2021? What are some things you see, Kathryn?
Yep. So
So I mean, you think about it, I often talk about our bookends as far as products. So we got a great 101 day 4188 that fits across all brands. Is actually available in, conventional, double pro, and smart stacks. And then the far side, at least for my geography here, 113 days is towards the top end for a lot of products, and having 5370 that's both available in double pro and smart stacks as well. But I think a lot that we talk about, and Kathryn mentioned too, is that looking at new products that fit in between those, and products that also are from that performance and mid-tier pricing side of it that really fit the challenges that we're having with the economic times, to be able to not only drive high yields but drive high ROI. Probably the biggest secret that we've been talking about for years is having those response to scores. Really, it's just about the concept of knowing the personality of the hybrids that we're planting, and knowing how to manage that hybrid versus from a nitrogen side and fungicide, two of the biggest factors that really drive yield and drive economics. So having those not only for our products that have been in the lineup for 1-2 years, but also having those for these, like you mentioned, this 109 EXP that's right behind us. Knowing that by the time we get around to placing those hybrids next spring, to know what that personality is going to be and know what those response to scores are going to be, it's pretty dynamic. And that really allows us not to be able to have that first year where we're learning. We know a lot of this stuff. We know a lot of the data. There's a pile of data points sitting behind us here in this answer plot. And really, by creating those here, WinField and I, we're helping take the risk out of farming. We're gonna plant a hybrid we know an awful lot about.
Right. So yeah, like you said, we get to come out of the gate running, but we also have that for our partner brands, for DeKalb, for NK, and for Mycogen, or the new Vermont hybrids. So we can place those hybrids and figure out, know how they're managed right out of the gate.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, no, I'd like to thank everybody for taking a few minutes to watch this video. Hopefully you learned, and as always, feel free to reach out to me, myself, or Kathryn here to be able to